Here we go.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. You know what it means when it's Wednesday, baby. That's right, it's the midweek hump. And we all love a midweek hump. Anyway, look, back by popular demand, the hair. I've removed the hat today because a few of you have said, can we not see the hair? I'm guessing they're people who are quite new to the channel. Welcome. And if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do so. I'm not going to go on some sort of rant about it. I'm not going to even try and address the fact that like 44% of people only are subscribed to the channel. I know that you don't want to hear it, so I'm not going to continue going on about it and saying please do subscribe because it helps, because I know that's frustrating and we don't want to do that, do we? Please. Anyway, so we get straight into the meat and potatoes, as we are covering various things. Well, I say various things today, two things. We're going to be speaking later on today again about Jay-Z and the clap back from Busby. But in this one, we are talking about Liam Payne. I know some of you are a bit fed up hearing about Liam Payne, I get it, but just please do try to remember that me and you, we're not doing like a one-to-one Zoom call. We're going to be talking about Zoom calls in a minute. We are trying to cater for the wide audience as well, and sometimes that means that I will do videos that you may not like but someone else absolutely wants to see. So let's all, we're a family here, we're a family. So let's get in with it. Let's get in with it, shall we? This is what we're talking about. We are talking about the fact that there have been more people charged in this situation. Now, what does it mean? Who knows? Will we learn anything new? Who knows? Because I think it's clear what we can see from the outside. Don't get me wrong. Everything that I say in this video is my opinion, right? My opinion. Doesn't really mean anything. That's not going to have any, influence on what happens in the grander scheme of things. But me and you are entitled to our opinions. And our opinions are based upon what we see and what we hear. And this is going to add to it today. So, look, it says police probe. There's lots of probing around here. Police probe 2 more hotel workers over Liam Payne's death. Receptionist filmed carrying star to his room minutes before balcony fall, among those being investigated. Right, so police in Argentina are reportedly investigating a hotel worker who was filmed on CCTV carrying Liam Payne to his room. And we're gonna skip over in a second to look at a Tribune article, because I think we got to kind of ram something home what I don't know whether everybody has cottoned on that it was said. And we're just gonna dig into that. And later on, I'm also going to be just doing a standalone video again, just talking about Kate Cassidy, because there's something about that situation that also bugs the shit out of me. But I know that if videos are too long, people lose, they lose focus. Like, they might go off and do something else, start making a cup of tea or something, or coffee if you're in America. The suspect has been named locally as Chief Receptionist Esteban Grazzi, who made a 999 call requesting urgent medical assistance for Liam before he plunged to his death from his 3rd floor balcony at the Casa Sur. I'm not going to try and attempt to say that word again, but just hold that thought, because if we then go over to Tribune, and this is the important thing about that call, and if I scroll here, look, it says, as of Tuesday morning, the head receptionist continues to work at the Casa Sur Hotel. He made 2 911 calls around the time of Liam Payne's death on October 16th. In the first call, he has informed the dispatcher that a guest had too many D-rugs in his system. Too many D-rugs and alcohol, and was trashing the entire room. Stick a pin in that in a second, because, again, this little thing here is something that is being blown out of context, and media help them perpetuate that. So in the second call, he warned that the guest's life may be in danger. So my feelings at this point is that Liam Payne's dead. So something happens between call 1 and call 2, and Liam Payne, in my opinion, is not alive during that second call. And what further makes you feel that is this. During the let alone, it is like, it might be in danger, might be. During the second call, the receptionist asks, "Are you sending the police as well or not?" After the dispatcher confirms that both police and SAME, which that's Argentina's emergency service, the medical services, he responds, no, just the same. So if you've got somebody, if you're in a situation that they're trying to push, that this guy is still alive, he's still alive, that's what you're trying to insinuate, he's still alive, and he's in a room smashing the room to pieces, smashing the room up. Why would you not want the police there? Why would you not want the authorities there? Because surely you're going to be thinking ahead, and that is that this guy has come into this hotel and he has got himself wrecked and he's smashing our stuff up. And we are going to pursue this further because this isn't our fault. This is a guest who's come in and started acting Larry and smashing the stuff up. You would want the police there. Not only would you want them there, you would need them there. You would absolutely need them there. So the fact that they specifically, or this guy specifically says, no police, just medical. That leads me to believe that this is over. This is over. And I don't know whether you guys are on the same page as me. Let me know down below if you are. I do 100% feel that. I feel that this is a done deal by this point. And what I was talking about earlier was the fact that this, with respect of what they're trying to push, that Liam had taken too much drink and too much D-rugs, the toxicology report still isn't clear. It isn't clear what is going on there, because we know that we can completely discount the first toxicology report. That was false. That was fake. But it set a certain wheel in motion. And I believe that, again, we're focusing heavily on, was that call, let me just get this off my screen, focusing heavily on that call, was Liam Payne alive at the point with which the second call was made? So I believe he's not. So at this stage, they have got to try and refocus the blame, get the blame off of us, because we need to do that. So then they try with he is off his face. He's off his face. He's doing this. He's doing that, to paint this picture of an out of control Liam Payne. He's out of control. We can't control him. Then we later on see them fucking manhandling him throughout the hotel and taking him to his room, where that story still has issues. You've got somebody who apparently hears noises, but they don't even bother to come out of the room to check physically what is going on. They just can say that, yeah, I heard noises. You've got the fact that we always felt from the beginning that Liam was being trapped in that hotel and potentially was looking to try and get out of the hotel. Bear with me, because again, we're going to speak about the fact that there seemingly is a video that exists. And does that video, if it exists, and I say that's a big fucking capital if that exists and truly does depict Liam Payne unconscious, then we know that he wasn't unconscious on the balcony, because if he was unconscious on the balcony, then he wouldn't have fallen over the balcony, would he? Now, is it beyond the realms of possibility that Liam Payne was taken back to his room and hit and beaten up in his room? Would that then account for the multiple injuries? Now, I will say that some of this, like Down the Rabbit... fuck me. I'll never say that name, right? Down the Rabbit Hole News spoke specifically about the TV being smashed. And, you know, if Liam Payne hit the TV, for instance, she turned around and said that he would have an injury. He would have cuts. That's not necessarily true. Modern TVs have got a plastic screen cover. You're not gonna punch and get glass in your hand, for instance, and it doesn't take a massive amount of force to break a television screen. Who here has got children, or you yourself have got a Wii, one of those things that you've got them virtual controllers and you've thrown it by accident that's hit the screen and the screen is obliterated. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't take a massive amount of force to break a modern TV that is secured in that box, and that would have been secured in that box that pivots and spins all the way around so you can see the screen in the bedroom or in the seating area. So I wouldn't say that the fact that he didn't have an injury to his hand doesn't mean that he didn't punch it, if that makes sense. But what I struggle with is still the mechanics of the fall. The mechanics of the fall itself, to me, are indicative. If that exists and he's kind of struggling around or something happens, I still feel that maybe he climbed over the balcony and succumbed to an injury. Because I cannot trust at this stage the narcotics volumes, because for me, we've seen countless times how long it takes to get a true and accurate toxicology report. And the toxicology reports, both of them that we are basing what we're thinking off of, I believe that they came through too quick. So do we actually have a true idea of what Liam Payne had? Because they're so conflicting. But even the second one, it would seemingly suggest that it wasn't enough to place Liam Payne in the condition that we're trying to be, or they're trying to tell us that he was in. Does that make sense? You would expect him to be absolutely fucked. But again, who knows? 25 injuries, a fall from not a massive amount. With this fall is a fall that people can and have and will continue to fall and survive from. And also we've got to look at the positioning in relevance to where he landed. The position of the balcony to where he landed, they're not, again, supportive of what we're being told about Liam Payne just passing out. Unless there is more to that and there is footage, and I say this countless times, if there is footage, I hope that Liam Payne's family have seen that footage and they can corroborate that it exists. Because if it doesn't, because again, we don't know what exists here. We're only going by what media says, and we know that media are seemingly still in a situation where they're trying to push a certain degree of blame and fault on Liam Payne, and that is also being assisted by multiple third parties. Some that are saying that they knew that this was just going to happen. They're not surprised that this was going to happen. But yeah, we've got the manager of the hotel as also one of the people who has been summoned in for questioning. And this fucking bugs me. This is going to be done by Zoom, apparently. So they're going to have Zoom calls, and once they've had the Zoom call, the prosecutor decides whether they can go on to, that's head of security, Gilda Martin. But what makes me... We've looked at this hotel before, right? And we know that this hotel have tried to cover things up. I spoke specifically about an iPad that was stolen. An iPad that was stolen by staff and seemingly then miraculously reappeared because they'd stupidly turned the fucking thing back on while it was connected to the hotel internet. So it pinged the owner of the iPad with a positioning of the iPad. And lo and behold, then the manager's like, oh, actually, we've found it and we'll get it to you. And from what I could see, they didn't do that either. So this hotel has got a bit of a history of not being 5-star or 4-star, more like a 2-star. Don't leave your fucking money out on the side table. We've also got Liam Payne's missing Rolex still. Was it taken off him earlier? Was this used by Rogelio Norres to pay off these fucking women who I can't for the life of me work out where they come into the equation? I can't work out at what point Liam Payne would have thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll order these people. Because... No, we don't want to put that up. I want to change the screen back, don't we? I'll come in here. The point being, a lot of this story doesn't make sense. And I think that there's two keys here. There's two keys that could perhaps... Two keys. Rogelio Norres. And that is Kate Cassidy, which we're going to speak about standalone later. And also the video footage from the balcony, if it exists. Those two pieces of information can hold a vital clue as to what truly happened. But like I say, there's people being questioned. What is there now? 5 people. You got Brian, you got Rogelio Norris, you've got Gilda, you've got the other guy from the hotel. So all of this group of people, they're going to go into Zoom. They're going to have a conversation and see whether charges. It could be that some of them face culpable homicide charges. It could be that Rogelio Norris looks to get his abandonment charges. Again, I feel uncomfortable with that. In terms of, if that's the case, then surely, again, we could look at Kate Cassidy. So it's stony ground, but I certainly believe that Rogelio Norris was involved in the facilitation of what got Liam Payne into the position that he was in. The questions that we have is, was he really in the position that he was in? Or was this just about making it look like he was in this position to try and destroy his credibility, to destroy his career, to make him look a certain way, to assist something else in the background, and it simply got out of hand. It spiraled. It was a plan that was going so well until he either got into an altercation in the room and succumbed to an injury and went over the balcony, or was he helped over the balcony? Or was he already deceased way before all this and they needed to fabricate some situation to make it look like, and their initial plan was to make it look like he had jumped off the balcony? And because it got so much stick and so much rebuttal by the fans and multiple people, they then had to change direction, and it's that changing of direction that opened up a massive can of worms. But this is a state. This case is a complete mess. It's like having a fucking 500-piece jigsaw puzzle with 400 of the pieces missing. We've got the outside ring, but nothing's there in the middle. Let me know where you are currently. What is your thoughts and feelings about what truly happened to Liam Payne? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. I'll catch you all later in video 2 and 3. Keep your eyes peeled. Notifications are shite.